Hi there and welcome to the channel of A Disappointed Man with me, Jason Kennedy, the Disappointed Man. And in this video I'll outline my December reading plans and also show off my latest book haul, which was rather impressive. Now, apart from December being the end of the Western year and so a time for looking back and choosing the best books of the previous 12 months, December will be just another month on the channel of A Disappointed Man. Nothing will stop here for Christmas. Taiwan simply doesn't do Christmas, just as it doesn't do the World Cup. Yes, I'm in one of the few spots on the planet where there's absolutely no football culture whatsoever. It's been very difficult to deal with, actually. Okay, so the books I'm going to read as I still recover from COVID, I have chosen short works, and they are these. So I'm going to finish my absurd drama compilation. I've read 2 of them. I just need to read the other 2, and I will look to do a review of those. They're very, very entertaining. Then this, The Loved One by Evelyn Waugh. This is excellent. Has a lot of rather postmodern touches to it. An Englishman falls in love with an American and he woos her by presenting her with poetry, which he doesn't claim authorship of, although she naturally assumes he's writing it for her. Actually, he's selecting it from a poetry anthology of the best English verse. So yes, he's kind of curating these poems to make her fall in love with him. That's a very postmodern touch, isn't it? The next one, Wide Sargasso Sea by Rhys. I've read the opening. Of course, I do know what this book does. It fills in the story of Bertha from Jane Eyre, the madwoman in the attic. It's excellent. Then another short novel that I've already read, Christopher Isherwood's Prater Violet. I'll read this again. Isn't that a great picture on the cover? Wonderful. It is about a movie director. Last one, I've also read this too, but I will reread it before I try a review, and that is G.K. Chesterton's The Napoleon of Notting Hill. He only wrote 2 short novels, sadly. This one and The Man Who Was Thursday. They're both masterpieces in quite different ways. Then, as the month proceeds, I will continue plugging away at my anthology of English literature. I've reached the Canterbury Tales, 100 pages or so of them to get through, and then we're on the home stretch there. Okay, let's have a look at this book haul I've already mentioned. I'll begin with the hard to say names. First up, The Scarlet Pimpinel by Baroness Emuska Ortzi. They seek him here, they seek him there. Yes, regular viewers of the channel will know I love adventure stories. I may even write my PhD dissertation about them. So there is one more for the pile. Next up, Ryszard Kapuscinski. I've looked it up online and that is something like how you say his name. He's a Polish reporter who enjoys going into war zones in the Third World, and he wrote this amazing account of being in Angola as it received its independence after the fall of fascism in its colonial master, Portugal. Next, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. I may have this somewhere else, but I picked it up again just in case. Then Henry James again, one of his early ones, The Spoils of Poynton. I'm really suffering for the cause of great literature, aren't I? Reading all these Henry James novels. Let's see how good this one is. Next up, very exciting, another Broadview critical edition. This one is Mary Robinson, a radical feminist from the Romantic period. And this is a letter to the women of England and the natural daughter. The letter is really interesting. Basically, it's defending women and saying we are the intellectual equals of men when given equal opportunities. I'm really looking forward to that. Next up, a classic, Labyrinths by Jorge Luis Borges. I've read it before, but I didn't own a copy. So this is a nice edition. Looks like from the 70s there. A French novel, Marguerite Duras, Le Square. I can hone my French a little more. It's terrible right now. I must keep practicing. Then The Just So Stories by Rudyard Kipling. A parallel translation, another French work, Baudelaire and the Flowers of Evil, the Fleur de Mal. I haven't read it. It's incredible I've managed to live 50 years without reading this, isn't it? It's mentioned so many times. Then, something from ancient Greece. Shall I try and say the name? I'm really not sure. Aeschylus? I'm not sure. The Orestian Trilogy. 2 more left. Sylvia Plath, The Bell Jar. I have her journals. I picked those up a few months back. So here is her only novel. I used to have a beautiful Faber and Faber edition of this, but someone borrowed it at university and then just kept it. It was too good to lend. And lastly, a doorstop. It's the Oxford History of English Literature. I can barely hold it. I'm so weak after this COVID. Andrew Sanders. And now there are many histories of English literature, but I would recommend this one actually. Firstly, the production is very nicely laid out with huge margins for writing notes and very big type on beautiful paper. And it's very gracefully written, it must be said. Starts with an essay concerning Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey, and the way its development allows you to see that what we regard now as the kind of through line of the poetic tradition in England or Britain was not established at the time. It's an invention, something we see in retrospect. And that is a great way to get going on his subject. And then there are chapters on all the usual things, Old English, medieval literature, etc. But yes, an excellent addition to my shelves. And there we have it. That's everything I want to say. So I will just bid you farewell. Be safe, be strong, and I shall see you anon. Nanu nanu.